Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome back to Mr. Smith's YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be moving on with some additional tools that we're learning in Adobe Illustrator. Alright, so the idea is once we finish all this, you will be able to do vector designs for our laser engraving machine called the Glowforge. And we're also going to start moving into our 4-foot by 8-foot CNC machine. So that way we can cut bigger projects, but it's also going to use the same type of design. All right, so we've talked a little bit about shapes and using the Pathfinder tool. So I wanted to make a tutorial today to teach you how to use text, because text is very important. Anytime we create signage or anything, it's going to require some text. All right, so here we go. I'm going to jump into it. Alright, so first things first, again, guys, when we're using the Glowforge, you're going to start by clicking Create New. Alright, and it's going to pull this up. And just double check, as you can see here, like I have all these different custom sizes because I do a lot of different projects, but for y'all, we're going to stick with the Glowforge preset. Alright, and I'm actually going to name it Glowforge this time, Glowforge. Alright, and that is 20 inches width, 12 inches height. Make sure you're on inches. We want our orientation to be landscape, and the rest of this is fine. All right, so 20 inches width, 12 inches height. Make sure you have inches selected, and I went ahead and named it Glowforge. All right, so I'm going to click Create, and it brings it up. All right, so this is 20 wide by 12 tall, which matches our material for the Glowforge machine. All right, up here, this is the control bar. All right, just doing a little review. This is our control bar. If you don't have it, go to Window, turn on Control. Right now, the workspace I'm working in is called Layout. And I've also gone to Window and I've added the Pathfinder to my window. All right, and that pretty much covers most everything for setting up your file. So what I want to talk about today is the fact that you can go in here and actually, let's say you want to draw. Actually, that one's kind of wild. I'm going to back up a little bit. Let's say that I want to, I hate that it does it from the middle. Let's say that I want to do that, but then curve it. All right, so this is my line. All right, so what I did there is I took the I actually took the pen tool. You can also take the curvature tool. Actually take the pen tool. All right, take the pen tool, click somewhere on your screen and drag. All right, it creates an anchor for you, and then off that anchor you can draw a curve. All right, so again I can do another one here. Maybe I want to draw another one like that. All right. So I just want you to start by drawing a couple curves. All right. So I have this curve, and this is a straight line, and then I have this curve. All right. So the reason I'm drawing curves is I want to teach you how to type on a path. So if you go over here to your text tool on the left and you right-click on it, so the T on the left, go to the T on the left and right-click. Then you can go to Type on a Path tool, and if you click on a path, it allows you to actually type along a path. All right, so you'll see here, once I finish typing, it actually makes the curve disappear. I can click on it again, and you can kind of see it. But what's cool about this is if I take my direct selection tool, sorry. All right, if I take the direct selection tool, which is the white cursor, what happens is when I click on this, if you look closely, so I'm going to zoom in. If I click on this, do you see this little vertical line here? We're going to refer to those as bookmarks or bookends, right? If you've ever put books on a shelf, you have bookends that hold your books. This works the same way with text, right? This is our text. This is the end for the text. So you can actually click that and you can move it left and right. So I'm gonna double click on it because what I want to do first, oh, how did I get the text tool again? All right. I'm gonna make it bigger. All right, so I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna make my text a little bigger so y'all can see. All right. If I even grab the black cursor, so you can use direct selection or the selection tool, either one, you can grab on the bookend and you can actually move your text. If you pull downwards, it'll drop it to the bottom side. All right, so I grab the bookend, right? Grab the bookend and I move it up and I'm back up on top, and I move it down and I'm on the bottom. Pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna show you again. If you go here, right click, type on a path tool. I click on this path. All right, so Atlanta Braves just won. So they just went to the World Series. So I typed "Let's go Bravos." Again, the issue here is I'm hanging off the edge. So if I grab my bookmark tool and pull it back, now I'm along that curve. All right, I can take it. Maybe I want to flip it to the other side. You just got to be very careful to try to grab onto that. All right, maybe I want to try to push it up into that curve at the top. Let's see if I can get it up there. Yep, see, look, let's go Bravos. All right, which is pretty cool. All right, so that's basically it. Like, that's the type on a path tool. All right, so I am going to just kind of move these to the top, all right, just to demonstrate that I've done those. But I want to show you that you can also do it on a shape. All right, so I'm going to go right click on the rectangle tool and go click the star tool. All right, now I'm going to click on my screen and I'm going to make a 5-pointed star. I think I'm probably going to make it a little bigger. All right, so I've got a 5-pointed star. Again, just some review, guys. Your fill and stroke is over here on the right. Your fill and stroke is over here on the right. So maybe I want this star to be red on the outside with a little thicker stroke. I did that up at the top. Actually, I want it to be red on the inside and nothing, no, like black on the inside. All right. So what I can do now is if I go get the type on a path tool, I can actually click. Oh, wow, it gave me. I can click here and I could say twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. All right, so maybe I want to increase that a little bit. If I do it a little more, that's too much. All right. So I can take my bookend here, and they're actually touching. So I can move this bookend kind of towards that end and move this up. I kind of like the way that looks. So maybe I want to put the twinkle, twinkle, little star around a star. You know, kind of cheesy, but shows the power of Illustrator and what you can do with it. So if I grab my bookend and I go towards the inside, it's actually going to be really hard to do that just because you don't really have much inside there. But you could try to flip it down to the inside. But just wanted to show you can also trace shapes. So what I want you to do now, right, I'm going to take this again. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to shrink it down. And I'm going to move it to the top. You know, so now I've kind of got my three little shapes here. But I want us to actually take an image and try to add text onto the image. So let's pretend that Mr. Smith is running for president, right? Let's pretend I'm running for president. And I want you to do this. For you, it doesn't have to be president. It can be whatever you want. But I would like you to find like a funny photo, something, right? So let's say that I drag a picture of myself on here, right? So I got this, I mean, it's actually a pretty decent looking picture of me. Hold on, that did not work the way I wanted it to. All right, there we go. So I got this picture of me. Guys, remember Control-0 will bring you in to zoom around your workplace or your workspace. All right, so I've got this picture of me, and maybe, what do y'all think? Let's do an ellipse. So I'm gonna click on my screen, and I'm gonna do like let's just start with a 2x2 and see what that looks like. All right, well that's not as, I kind of want it bigger, so I'm gonna make it bigger, and I'm gonna put that over my face. All right, I'm actually gonna drag it to meet the edge. So I'm gonna go to the right, and I'm gonna change my fill. My fill's the inside to be nothing, and I'm gonna go ahead and change my stroke to be black. So now I just have this black circle around my head. I'm gonna move it to the right a little bit because some of it was hanging off. All right, so now I wanna cut away everything extra. If y'all remember how to do that, if I highlight it, I can do intersect. Oh, actually, before you do that, you've gotta image trace your image so it becomes an object. So I'm gonna go ahead and image trace my image. It's a high fidelity. Boop, 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 boop. Takes a minute. All right, I'm gonna highlight. Well, having a little trouble here today. All right, let's try it again. Oh, I was hitting shape modes. All right, let's try that again. Huh. Illustrator's giving me a little issues, guys. Hold on one sec. Let me try it again. All right, image trace it. Oh wow, it made me black and white. All right, image trace, high fidelity. We'll let it go through its thing. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on. It may have to do with how complex my image is. Might have to punt here and do something a little different. All right, right click, expand, ungroup. I'm gonna delete this. I keep getting it in my highlight, and now I'm getting that. What is going on? Can't tell if I have it selected. Alright, I'm using something that's too complex. This might crash. I think that's my issue here, is it's so my image is so complex that it's just not working out for me. All right, so we're gonna take a step back. Hopefully you've realized I'm messing up and you can just fast forward. All right, so what we're gonna do instead, guys, is I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go type Atlanta Braves logo. All right, so go into images. I'm gonna find something nice for me to use. Maybe I'll use this one. All right, so I'm using the Braves because they just made it to the World Series, which is awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that image straight into my downloads. I'm gonna show in folder, and then I'm gonna drag it over here into Illustrator. All right, so I want you to pick an image. All right, ignore everything I just tried to do with my image. I want you to pick an image. So I'm gonna pick the Braves logo. All right, and just to review, we're gonna do like an image trace. All right, and I'm gonna do the little drop down here and do 3 colors because it has 3 colors. All right, just to kind of give us a nice trace. Then I'm gonna click and expand up here, which then allows us to right click and ungroup the whole thing. And then I can delete my background. I can delete that little piece. Maybe I want to go in here and make it, I don't know. What's another good Braves? Like maybe silver on both of those. And the outline be like red. Oh. Alright, I like silver. And this outline be red. Just changing it up a little bit. Alright, then I can go in here. And remember, let's try this as 4x4 because last time it was a little too short. Alright, it's still a little bit too little. So I'm gonna need to drag it. Make the inside transparent. I think this is where I'll use my blue for the Braves. Alright, so I can add that. If I drag click both of them and use my align tool on the right, I can align them to each other, although apparently I did not. Alright, let me group the inside. Group the inside. Now I'm going to align them to each other. There we go. And there we go. There was a little weird thing there, but I think we're okay. Alright, so they're aligned to each other. Everything's nice and centered. There is that weird path in the middle. Delete that. Okay. So I want you to take a logo and then put a circle around it, right? And because the Braves just went to the World Series, maybe I want to click and write World Series bound, right? World Series bound. And then I'm gonna kind of take my bookmark. I need to drag this bookmark. So I'm dragging the back bookmark so I have room to move this one. All right, you just want to kind of get it centered on there. All right, now I can actually edit the text. So I still don't think I'm centered. I'll make it a little bigger. World Series bound. Change this to the blue now. Maybe that's the blue. Let's see what that looks like. Cool. All right, so I've got World Series bound up top. So if you actually click on your text, Control-C and Control-V, click on it with the cursor, Control-C, Control-V, then it'll make a second one here. Now you can take that second one, all right, and put it over the top, and then you can drag it to the bottom. All right, so that's what I like to do instead of trying to drag 2 circles. I just copy it, and then I move the anchor. All right, so maybe I want this check to say 2021, or this text on the bottom to say 2021. So then I move that text over to the middle. And remember, if I take that you can actually flip it. But I need to get the big anchor here. I keep moving it. Well, all right, so what you can also do is go to Object here, and somewhere in here is the Reflect, which I think will reflect it to the top. All right, so there's Type on Path. So if you go into Type, there's Type on Path here, and then you can use different types. So let's just preview. Okay, so that's how you center. You can do descender, which brings it off a little more. So I like the center, and then flip will flip it. So that kind of flips it up to the corner. Let's see what skew effect does. No. 3D ribbon, no. Stair step, no. Gravity, no. So for some reason, guys, it's not letting me flip it. I'm not sure why. It should let me flip it to the other side and reverse it. Transform, reflect. Okay, I can reflect, but now I need to flip. Transform. So guys, I hate to do it, but I am struggling to get that to flip, but I will figure it out and show y'all during class. So for now, just focus on getting your text up top, and then go ahead and put something on the bottom, and I will definitely figure out how to get it flipped. It's just not even, it's not working for me on this one. But that's it, guys. About 22 minutes, but I kind of struggle there for a little bit through it. The big thing is just make sure you follow exactly what I'm doing. The point I want you to learn here is how to add text to paths. And then once you're done with that, you can take a screenshot and turn it in. If you want to do a little bit extra, you can. If you want to add back your circle, that might make it look pretty good. Because when you add the text, it disappears. So if you want to add it back, like so, then you can. All right, guys, well, that's it for me. When I'm grading this, I'm looking for you to have created several paths and added text. So just make sure you get that done. All right, thanks, guys. See you next time.